Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever walked out of a room and forgotten what you were going to do? Or been in the middle of a conversation and forgot the name of the person you just mentioned? Oh, me too. Little things like that happen over and over again, leaving us wondering, am I really getting old? But I want to tell you this, age is just a number. What makes the difference is how we take care of our minds and hearts every day. And the great thing is, we can do it, starting with the smallest changes. Today, we will share 4 simple but extremely effective ways to help maintain clarity and alertness, whether we are over 60, 70, or even 80 years old. These are not high-level theories or expensive supplements, but practical, easy-to-do things that have been recommended by many doctors and researchers everywhere, from California to Florida, to apply every day. And I will tell you these things as if we were sitting together over a cozy afternoon tea. Now let's get started. I want to talk about the first thing, which everyone probably knows, but is often forgotten: light physical activity every day. I have a friend named Linda, who lives in Austin, Texas. She is over 70, but every morning she walks around the park near her house, just about 20 to 30 minutes. Not running fast, not lifting weights, just walking leisurely, breathing fresh air. Linda said that every time she walks like that, her mind feels refreshed, she thinks more clearly, sleeps better, and especially remembers more things. You know, when we exercise, whether it's just a slow walk, gardening, or even dancing around the house, our blood circulates better. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients to the brain, helping nerve cells work more effectively. You don't have to do much, just keep it regular. Every morning, I put on some light jazz music and sway to the music for a few minutes in my living room. It was a little awkward at first, but now it's become a habit. Not only does it make me feel happy, it also helps my mind stay alert and refreshed throughout the day. When we exercise, our bodies release endorphins, the happy hormones, which help reduce stress and improve our mood. This also helps keep our memory sharper. So, if you don't have an exercise routine, try starting with the simplest steps: walking around the yard, doing some stretching exercises, or taking an afternoon walk around the neighborhood with friends. The most important thing is to do it often, not a lot. And now, I want to share with you something else that is equally important, that is, keep your mind challenged every day. I know, sometimes we feel like we are retired and don't need to learn anything anymore. But the truth is, the brain is like a muscle. If we don't exercise it, it will gradually weaken. On the contrary, if we use it regularly, the mind will always be flexible and sharp. A very effective way to do this is to read books. It can be novels, history books, or detective stories. I like reading Agatha Christie. It is both entertaining and requires thinking. Every time I guess the killer, my mind feels like it is really working. In addition, you can also learn something new. I have a cousin in Seattle, 68 years old, who just learned to play guitar online. At first he said, "I must be too old to learn," but now he practices every day, and even posts videos of himself playing on Facebook. Playing chess, solving crossword puzzles, doing Sudoku, or simply writing a diary every day, all help the brain to be active. It is important that we maintain our curiosity, our desire to learn, not because we have to, but because it makes us feel that life is always new. Many people tell me, "I am old, why do I still study?" But my friends, learning has no age. Every time we try something new, we are giving our brains a chance to develop. And that helps us to stay sharp for a long time. Now we have begun to imagine how exercising our bodies and stimulating our minds every day can help us. But there is another thing that is equally important, and is sometimes overlooked, that is social relationships. And we will move on to the next part to continue this story about how affection, friends, and intimate conversations can nourish our minds. I am sure you will agree with me on this. There are days when we feel empty inside, not because of lack of food or lack of sleep, but simply because there is no one to talk to. Especially when the children grow up, busy with their own lives, close friends are gone, and the house is suddenly too quiet. I have experienced such days. One winter morning in Minneapolis, I sat by the window watching the snow fall and suddenly realized It had been almost a week since I had called or talked to anyone except the newspaper delivery man. And then I suddenly remembered what my doctor said when I went for a routine health checkup. Staying in touch with others is as important as exercising every day. At first I thought he was joking, but later I learned that it was true. Our minds are nourished by love and connection, just like plants need sunlight and water. Conversations, laughter, or simply being listened to all help keep the brain active and prevent depression and anxiety, two things that can easily cause memory loss if prolonged. I have a friend named George who lives in Pittsburgh. George is 75 years old, living alone after his wife died. But instead of withdrawing, he joined a book club for seniors in his neighborhood. They meet every week, read the same book, talk, and share their feelings. George says that these meetings help him feel truly alive, his mind is active, his heart is light. So, please, don't hesitate to take the initiative to connect. Call an old friend, text your grandchild, invite your neighbor over for tea, or join a community group, church, art class, cooking class, anything that allows you to meet, laugh, listen, and be heard. Even if you're shy about going out, you can learn how to use Zoom or FaceTime to video call your loved ones. I know it can be confusing at first, but try it a few times and you will get the hang of it. I learned to use an iPad from my 10-year-old grandchild. Now every week I have a virtual tea time with old friends all over the U.S. It's fun. Sometimes, just one call is enough to make your head feel a dozen pounds lighter. And the more often you maintain those connections, the more your brain gets a workout, remembering names, following stories, reacting flexibly, all of which help keep your memory clear and coherent. And when we have done gentle exercise, challenged our minds, kept warm relationships around us, there is one more very important thing, sometimes the most difficult thing to do: knowing how to take care of our emotions and find peace in our hearts. It sounds simple, but there are things without names, there are hidden sorrows, there are days when the heart is heavy without knowing why. When we live long enough, we also experience enough loss, separation, unfinished things, endless stories. All of them sometimes lie silently somewhere in our hearts, then make us tired, sleepless, forgetful. I once met an old lady in Portland, named Rose, 82 years old, small in stature, but bright in her eyes. She told me something that I will always remember: "My child, if you want a clear mind, you must first have a light heart." Every morning she spends 10 minutes sitting quietly, no praying, no thinking, just breathing evenly. Then she writes a few lines in a notebook: "What I am grateful for today, who I forgive, what I smile for." It sounds so simple, but when I tried it, it was completely different. When your heart is light, everything else is easier. You are no longer overwhelmed by small worries, no longer repeating the same old things. So, taking care of your mental health is indispensable. Each person will have their own way. Some write a diary, some listen to classical music, some meditate, some go to church. The important thing is to find what calms your heart and repeat it every day like a ritual. And when your mind is rested, your emotions are soothed, your brain will also work more effectively, remember longer, think more clearly, live more clearly in the present. We have talked about exercise, learning, social connection, and taking care of your emotions. These are not big things, but small habits, but when done consistently every day, they will keep your mind bright, your heart calm. There is one more factor, one that I believe we all have, but sometimes forget to use. A golden key to maintaining our sanity that we will share right away. That is the factor of regaining sanity through joy and meaning in life. Many years ago, I had the opportunity to chat with an old man of Italian descent, living in the countryside of Northern California. His name is Marco. That year, he was over 90 years old, but he still personally tended the vineyard behind his house, wrote handwritten letters every week to his grandchildren, and read Latin books to keep his memory. I asked curiously, "How do you stay so sane?" He smiled gently and replied, "The secret? Every morning, I wake up with something to look forward to. You see, in all the things we do to maintain our sanity, joy in life and a sense of meaning are the last piece, but they play an essential role. Because when we feel that we still have value, that we still have something to contribute, that we still enjoy, our minds will continue to open, will continue to learn, will continue to truly live. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just a small goal each day, like trying a new recipe, writing a poem, drawing a picture for your grandchild, or simply tending to the flowers on your porch. Each action is a reminder to your brain, I'm still alive. I'm still exploring. I know some people think, at my age, what else can I do? But trust me, you are never too old to start something new. I met an aunt in Florida named Judith. She started taking photography at age 72, initially just to take pictures of her flower pots. But then those photos went viral, inspired others, and now she's holding her first exhibition at the community center. I don't feel old anymore, she said. I feel the blossoming. When we find joy again, our mind will be recharged. We will naturally feel more alert, everything will be clearer. And most importantly, we are no longer held back by the past, nor afraid of the future, because we are truly present in every moment of the present. So, if you wake up tomorrow morning and have nothing to look forward to, create it yourself. Write a letter, listen to an old song, call an old friend, start a notebook to record your life memories. Because every day, no matter how small, can become a new beginning. And now, before ending today's conversation, I would like to take a gentle look back with you. We have shared with each other the truth, from moving the body, refreshing the mind, nurturing relationships, taking care of the spirit, to finding joy in life again. All of these things do not require money, do not require extraordinary strength. Just be present with yourself, every day, every moment. I know life after 60, 70, or 80 can be challenging. But at the same time, it is a wonderful time to look deeper, to slow down, and to be clearer than ever. If you are feeling anxious about your memory, or your mind not being as sharp as it used to be, please be gentle with yourself. Remember, clarity is not about how much you remember, but how much you live with your heart and spirit. Every small change, a walk, a phone call, a page of a book, a smile, is a step closer to clarity of mind. And no one else can create those things for you but yourself. If you find these shares useful, please leave a few lines in the comments section. Tell me and everyone, what have you done in your life to stay sane? Do you have any tips you would like to share with your peers? And if you feel this is something that should be shared, don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe to continue accompanying me in warm, inspiring stories like this. Wherever you are, whether you are living alone or with your family, healthy or struggling, I hope you always find the light in each new day. Live happily, live healthily, and live clearly at any age. Thanks for listening.